What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're up at 236 right now. We had a daily close, another higher high on a daily close and an overall price perspective. Moved up 4.1%. It's not a lot for Bitcoin Cash, you guys. It's not a lot. It really isn't, right? This move here, 18%, still smaller than these like bigger candles we had, right? 23%. 36%. That's a big move, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to belittle it. It's one of the bigger moves we've had in quite some time for sure. But 4% is not really anything to get like too crazy about. I am still waiting to buy more Bitcoin Cash. I do think that it comes back down. Maybe it touches this trend line. Maybe it touches this trend line. Maybe it touches this trend line. You know, whichever one it does, I think that it will come lower, probably below, I would say if I had to guess, below 215 before turning up higher. You know, maybe it does go up higher now even. It is possible that it could continue from here. We are in the overbought zone on the daily. On the 4 hour, the RSI is pretty strong as well. We kind of are we right now? Let's see. Let's look at the 1 hour. I feel like I'm getting off track, but whatever. Yeah, look at that. We broke out of this price range here, showing weakness, some of the weakest readings in the RSI since we've been like moving up. So yeah, maybe it is time to turn around, but turning around does not mean it has to last for weeks or months as it did, you know, since June here. I do think actually what's going to happen is we just have a slight pullback, and it might take us, maybe it takes us to 230, maybe it takes us all the way down to 200. But one way or another, I think this thing will continue to go higher. I do think that this was the low. I have foregone my 145 buy order. I did say that I think we're going to go, you know, when we hit this low here, that we would go to the 150, 135 area. And I've maintained that throughout this whole little range. But yesterday, 2 days ago, is what gave me the conviction I needed to kind of change that perspective, because we have higher lows, higher highs. I am moving my buy order up. I'm going to split it into thirds. I'm going to put one buy order at 215, one at 210, and one at 205. And I'm going to be in Bitcoin Cash with the full amount of money that I want to be in with Bitcoin Cash. Now, if it drops lower and this is some kind of sick game it's playing with us and it shits the bed and goes lower, like it did last cycle, I'm going to be upset. I'll be okay. You know, hopefully have a little bit extra cash saved up by then to buy something if that was to happen, bring the average buy down. But one way or another, I wouldn't be upset because we know where this thing's going, and I really don't expect that to happen. I do expect that this kind of like ascending trend line will hold, if not even higher lows than that potentially. But I do also expect, just as much as I would expect that to hold, as I would expect that to hold, I would also expect that we are going to have some kind of drawback. And as we were just looking at on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, I think it's obvious or it's a little bit obvious. Maybe we do get more continuation, but I would think that we might be having that now. Maybe we do, because it's on the 1 hour and 4 hour, maybe we have just like a slight pullback that isn't like super significant. It comes back down to about 227 and then it continues to go up. That could happen. What would make me think that we're going to go below 215 is if we get a close on a 4 hour that's below this low here. If we can close below that and really get a wick below that too, get back in this range where we found resistance before and not find support on it. If we can get back below that, then I would think that we go like to the next viable area for support, which would be more like in the middle of this range, which from a top to a bottom puts us right at about 210. So I am going to be putting, you know, even down here at about 201, like that's down to 200. Even below 200 is possible to go to as well. But I am going to be layering 3 different buy orders, just all split evenly, 33% each. 33% of what I want to spend in Bitcoin Cash at 215. And then 210 and then 205, because I'm going to get in on this thing and just be done with it there, man. You know, that's kind of it, because I really don't think that it's going to go lower. I know I've maintained a bearish stance for a long time, and I know there are people who are bearish out there. I know there's people who are bullish who are probably like been waiting for a video like this, but you know, don't get too excited either way, because to the bears, honorable mention, I don't know, to the Red Dragon Riders, you know, we really could go lower than this low. It is possible. Going back to COVID, you know, talking about that, and it was a black swan event, but you know, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. We did have lower lows. We finally had a higher high, and then we came all the way back down to have lower lows here. Was this because of COVID? Was it because of just what charts do? You know, I don't know. You know, this is crypto, crazy things do happen, but this was during COVID. We're in totally different economic circumstances now. And I said this yesterday, but they're not great economic circumstances, but they're definitely different than the lockdown that happened during COVID. So I personally wouldn't expect, if we were to get some kind of move up, I would not expect that we would come all the way back down below this low here. But it's happened before. It can happen again. Even if it didn't happen before, it's completely possible to happen regardless. So if it does go lower, if my bullishness is infectious, or if your bullishness is infectious and it's tempting us all to buy right here, and then it goes down, do not sell. Dude, it's your money. Do what you want. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but as I've stated several times throughout this whole range, right, since we found this low, this is money, at least the way that I look at it personally. This is money that I'm holding on to. I'm investing into it now, and I'm not touching it until the end of the cycle. I have a trading account. It's a very small trading account in comparison to the rest of the portfolio, and the reason for that is because I want to use this money to do good things for my life, my wife, my family. You know, I want to do good things with this money to help build a foundation, you know, after the bull cycle. So it's not worth gambling on. You know, I think investing it in crypto is you know, maybe mainstream it's a gamble enough. I think we all know it's not a gamble. It's like a guarantee moneymaker, but nothing's a guarantee, you guys. But I do think that Bitcoin Cash is a very promising bull cycle. So I'm not going to play the game with it. If I buy whenever it comes down to this low, if I buy around 215 to 205, right, and it just keeps shitting the bed and it actually goes lower, I'm just going to buy more with the little bit of money that I'll have saved up after that, you know, after just some steady income. But I'll just buy more down here. But I'm not going to sell because I'm not playing the game with that kind of money. Because if it does go lower and you happen to sell right at this lower low, just as you bought right here at this higher high, then it's going to turn around on you and you're going to be double screwed. So don't do that to yourself. Don't play the game. If you're planning to invest, this is just a little bit of words to the subconscious, I suppose. I know that most of this video has been TA, but I've gone off on a little bit of a tangent here. And I would like to finish it off with TA, basically saying that we are in the overbought zone with the RSI. We're showing some of the strongest reads that we've seen since July, since the end of June, since the top, really. Pair that with increasing volume. Somebody said we had decreasing volume. I don't know if they're using a different exchange or what, but Coinbase is a pretty big exchange. BCH USDT on Binance has the most volume out of any exchange, so I feel like its volume is to be taken seriously. Its volume is increasing on the daily, actually. It's increasing from here, and I would say you even have 2 back-to-back spikes. You didn't have any of that here, and this one's bigger than either of those back there. So I would say as you're getting new highs, you are increasing. If you look at it on the 4-hour, maybe here it is decreasing. You do have this bearish divergence. So again, maybe you take a temporary turnaround here. I do think it's going higher, but I'm not buying here. If I want to buy and I think it's going higher, what's that mean? Well, I obviously think before it goes higher, it's going to have a higher low, and that's what I plan on buying. I've said it a few times, but I'll say it again. 205, 210, 215, splitting it up evenly between the three. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I don't think that it's the right time to get in now, but relatively speaking, you guys, man, I have to drink more. I drink a lot of water, I swear, but BCH USD, even buying here is not a bad thing because on the grand scheme of things, from top to bottom to all-time low, from all-time high to all-time low, by the end of this cycle, I'm expecting Bitcoin Cash to be worth more than 13K and potentially even above 23K. And that would be a 52 to potentially a 95x. And it might even do more than that. Bitcoin Cash is a very high market cap coin that has 100x potential. It really does by the end of this bull market, from the current price even. So I can't blame you if you want to buy here, especially if you're treating it seriously and you're not going to play with it if it goes down a little bit. But with that in mind, it's not in me to buy things when I do think they're going down. It's not in me to chase normally. So definitely not something I'm chasing. I'm going to wait for it to come back. I've been patient this whole time. I'm not about to forego that stance now. I've foregone enough. I've changed my position all in all, but I'm not going to forego my patience that I've worked so hard to keep under composure. So I'm going to wait for it to come down, fill up my bags. If I have to buy it higher, whatever, I don't care. As long as I'm buying it on some kind of pullback, I'll be happy. So before I continue to ramble on this ramble, I hope everybody has a good day. If you could hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Always appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.